Did you know that more than 80% of people are using ChatGPT completely wrong? They are wasting time asking random questions they could just Google and complain about brain rot. So for this video, we will do a deep dive on using large language models like ChatGPT in a way that really creates value and saves time, instead of asking it random questions that you could basically just Google. Is this whole AI thing just a bubble, overhyped, or should you act now to not get left behind? So we will train ChatGPT to become our personal assistant for health and longevity analysis / guidance, career coaching, finding and applying for relevant jobs automatically, and financial guidance with long-term vision. In each of the examples, you will see how much you can actually get out of AI when you feed it with the right data, structured in the right way, instead of using ChatGPT to ask some random bullshit. Okay, ultra long intro over, let's dive in. So, health and longevity guidance. Personally, I created a health assistant for my mom, for my dad, for myself, and it was a game changer. My mom went through lots of health issues lately, and there is barely a week where she's not spending time at different doctors. And the problem is, especially older people can get lots of different symptoms adding up over time, where there's extremely limited time available for doctors to take a closer look. So since we are feeding all medical information to ChatGPT, it helps us to prepare the medical appointments, preparing questions to ask, proposing treatment options, medications, diet protocols, including supplements and daily routines. Something we would never get from any doctor without spending thousands of dollars, simply because there are too many patients and too little doctors available. For every aspect you want ChatGPT to help you with, create a separate chat. Example, I have one health coach for my mom, one for my dad, and one for myself. Important here is really to have them in separate chats, since you will update multiple blood works, MRIs, and other data, and you obviously don't want to get the AI confused which data is from which person. So now the key to making ChatGPT work as a real assistant is how you set it up from the beginning. If you just throw random questions at it, you'll get random answers. But if you define clear instructions, basically train it like a new employee, you'll get much more accurate results. So for example, here is how I start every health project. You are my personal health and longevity assistant. The job is to summarize health data, highlight red flags, ask follow-up questions if context is missing, prepare questions for doctors, and proactively remind me of routines. If you don't know something, say so clearly. So you define a clear role for ChatGPT and force the AI to think and give feedback in a certain way. Suddenly, ChatGPT starts acting less like a random chatbot and more like a structured lab assistant who keeps me accountable and saves me time. So basically you can see here, this is a blood panel and I'm not an ACP, I'm not a doctor, so I have no idea what all of these things mean. And the good thing with ChatGPT is now that it can give you detailed explanations. So it automatically analyzes all of these values. You can see here slightly low, mild anemia. Obviously, if you are in a consultation with your doctor, first of all, the doctor has limited time, so probably he will not explain everything in detail. You probably will not understand anything. And here now, when you're at home, you can really spend time and get everything explained by ChatGPT in detail. And then you also get recommendations for next doctor's appointment. One watch out, when you want to upload PDF files, it usually, at least for me, it doesn't work. So I always do a screenshot of the PDF and then I just paste it here. But don't get me wrong, you should for sure not trust the AI blindly. ChatGPT is not your doctor. But if you actually feed ChatGPT with structured data like your age, diet, lifestyle, sleep routine, your blood work, and basically all health data available, suddenly you've got a lab assistant who never sleeps. Instead of Googling 50 symptoms at 3 a.m., you get a clear summary completely related to your individual health situation. Personally, I had lots of situations where the doctors were super grateful when we came in prepared and hinted the doctor to the right things to focus on. And since we have more and more data available nowadays with our smart devices, this can help you to extend your health span and stop panic Googling. This is what most people do wrong. They use one chat window to ask random questions or create every day a new chat completely not connected with each other. If you do that, you're not utilizing the power of AI at all, which is helping you to see the big picture and analyze things over time. Now you can enable the memory function, and probably in the future this will get way better, that ChatGPT is able to take all information from all chats. But in my experience, this is not working properly right now, and you still get the best results if you work in a structured way. In general, if you work together with AI, always start with clear context. Patient is 68, female, blah blah, and not just a woman has stomach pain, what to do. Because if you do it like this, you can just go back to Google. Now let's talk about one of the most painful but important areas of our life, your career. So most people hate job hunting. Endless hours scrolling on LinkedIn, rewriting the same boring CV, applying to 50 roles and getting ghosted by HR. This is exactly where ChatGPT can become your unfair advantage, but only if you use it in the right way. Because if you just go, hey ChatGPT, write me a CV, guess what? You'll get a generic CV that looks exactly like everyone else's, straight to the trash bin. So instead, here's how you can actually turn ChatGPT into a career coach that works for you 24/7. First of all, you provide ChatGPT with your resume and all data you have available. You explain in detail your career vision, your goals, your current salary, and your expectations. You feed it with some job descriptions from LinkedIn, Indeed, or directly from company websites. Now, ChatGPT can not only help you to compare and rank these results, it can find new job offerings for you and notify you immediately. Instead of wasting hours scanning several job portals, you've got a personal recruiter who works through the noise and gives you a short list of high-value jobs. Resume tailoring. Most people are sending the exact same CV to 50+ companies. But recruiters can smell that from a mile away. So with ChatGPT, you can upload your master CV with all your experience, paste the job description of the role you want, and then instruct ChatGPT, rewrite my resume to perfectly match to this job. Instead of sounding generic, your CV hits every keyword from the job description. Recruiters love that. And ATS, applicant tracking systems, love that even more. But it doesn't just stop at the CV. ChatGPT can literally simulate the interview with you. Interview preparation. Example, you pretend you are the hiring manager at Boston Scientific for the role of Senior Omnichannel Marketing Manager. Ask me the 10 toughest interview questions you can think of. Just looking at the questions here, they are all quite accurate. So basically, all of these questions could really be asked in a job interview. So I believe this is really helpful if you take a closer look at these questions and you practice with ChatGPT. And by the way, I know a lot of people are complaining about getting brain rot from ChatGPT. I believe if you use ChatGPT in the way I'm just showing you, this will basically not happen because you don't stop thinking for yourself. You just utilize ChatGPT as a tool, as a partner, but it's still your turn to really perform. Daily career assistant. You can trigger new job searches weekly. Imagine you set up a career project like the health project in chapter 1. One chat for job scouting, one chat for resume tailoring, and one chat for interview prep. That way, all your conversations stay organized. ChatGPT remembers which roles you applied to, what feedback you got, and where to double down. Watch outs and pro tips. Always fact check the output. Small mistakes kill credibility fast. The AI helps you prepare, but you still need to own the conversation. Financial guidance with long-term vision. Now let's talk about money. At the end of the day, that's what keeps you healthy, free, and able to make choices. Instead of Googling Best ETF 2025 or watching the latest YouTube guru, you can create a structured financial assistant who knows your numbers. And just like in health and career, the magic happens when you feed data consistently. I created one ChatGPT project called Finanical Guidance. Inside, I set up 3 dedicated chats. One, a budget tracker, where I input monthly income, expenses, and recurring costs. Investment planner, where I log ETF positions, stocks, crypto holdings, and potential strategies. And long-term vision, where I simulate bigger goals, like relocation to the US, buying property, or reaching a specific net worth by 2030. One chat is always for cash flow, one for assets, and one for big picture goals. This avoids the classic mistake people make, throwing random financial questions into one messy chat history. So when you start your finance assistant, give it clear instructions from the beginning. You are my personal financial assistant. Your job is to analyze my financial data, highlight risks, and help me create strategies for long-term wealth. Always ask clarifying questions if context is missing, and never make up numbers. If you're unsure, say so. So by doing this, you make sure ChatGPT doesn't just throw random stock tips at you, but it works within the structure you define. Important takeaways. Structure your chats, one for budget, one for investments, one for long-term vision. Don't mix everything. Feed real numbers. The more exact you are, the more useful the output. If you just use it randomly, like most people do, you will just waste your time and get mediocre results. If you got value out of this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I'll be diving even deeper into practical ways you can use AI in your daily life without hype or fake promises. I am not an expert. I'm learning myself and sharing my experiences and results on this channel. And if you want to share how you are using AI in your life, drop it in the comments. Before I let you go, bear in mind that ChatGPT is just one of 100 tools. If you want to learn how to create your own high-quality videos and visuals without paying high production costs or agency fees, check out this video here. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.